Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. We're still having technical issues. It seems to set up fine, but then it never wants to go live on the computer. So I talked to some people online today and thought I had it worked out. So we'll go ahead and do it off the phone without music. Sorry for any delays. My name is Stacey, and I'll be your teacher for today. Welcome to Let's Get Physical Yoga, brought to you by Price Hill Will. We're in Cincinnati, and we're committed to bringing health and wellness to the community of Greater Cincinnati. So, if you haven't done yoga before, not to worry, I will talk you and walk you through all the poses. This is a beginner's yoga flow, so it's meant to introduce you to yoga and hopefully help you fall in love with it. Usually we would be at one of our many locations in Price Hill, but today, like many of you, we're just coming from the house and trying to stay healthy, happy, and send positive intentions to the world. So we're going to start this class in easy pose. You're going to go ahead and cross your legs and just kind of start into the pose. You want to go ahead and rest your hands on your knees, palms towards the sky. Go ahead and relax your shoulders and gently close your eyes and try to start to settle into a nice, easy breath. Deep breath in through your nose. Nice, slow exhale through your nose. Deep breath in through your nose. It's a warming Ujjayi breath. Exhale out through your nose. And while you're settling into this breathing, start to settle your mind. Focus on your mat and connect with an intention. For the next hour, we're going to focus on the positive practice of being aware of our breath as it's connected to movement. Start to silence your mind. With your next breath, you're going to draw a deep breath in through your nose and sigh it out through an open mouth. Ocean breath. Deep breath in through your nose. Sigh it out. Ocean breath. One more deep breath in through your nose and sigh it out. With your next breath, you're going to start to return to that Ujjayi breath, in through your nose, out through your nose, and gently peel those eyes open. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, you're going to gently let that left ear trail towards the left shoulder, opening up through the right side of the neck. Now, if you're watching me, you can always mirror me and go the same direction as me. I called out leaning to my left, even though that's my right arm. I'm trying to let you mirror me. Deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, come back upright, chin nice and centered. Deep breath in through your nose, exhale, roll to the right. Let that right ear drift towards the right shoulder. It doesn't have to touch. You're just creating some open space to the left side of your neck, especially if you've been at a computer all day. A lot of people are working from home. Deep breath in through your nose, exhale, come back to center. We're going to take one more deep breath in, and this time as you exhale, you're going to let that chin drop down towards your chest, just relaxing through the shoulders and neck. Deep breath in through your nose, exhale, come up nice and high, nice and even. Make sure you're not shrugging those shoulders upwards. We might have a visit a couple of times from the cat. I hear him behind me right now. With your next breath, we're going to go ahead and take our legs out wide, making a nice V position. You're going to take the heel of your hands and put it directly in front of your thighs. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale, just lean forward, starting to lengthen through the back of your legs. Standing up nice and tall through that back, creating some space between each vertebrae in your back. With your next breath, you're going to point your toes away from you, stretching and lengthening with that skin and fascia that stretches over your shins. Exhale, releasing your ankles back to 90. Deep breath in through your nose. We're going to draw those toes in towards our ears, maybe even lifting our heels up off the earth. exhale, go ahead and let that foot rest on the earth. With your next breath, go ahead and take that left hand and rest it on the left shin. Exhale, we're going to take the right arm up over the top of our ears, side folding, starting to stretch and open up and lengthen to the right side of our body. Breathing your way up nice and tall. The right hand's going to find the right shin. Exhale that left arm up over the top of the ear and folding to the side and the other direction. When you're in these side folds, make a mental note of where your body's positioned. We're going to revisit this pose towards the end of class and see if you're not a little bit deeper into your stretch. Deep breath up, coming up nice and tall. Exhale. With our next breath, we're going to go ahead and bend our knees, bringing sole of foot to sole of foot. This pose has like 4 names. It's called cobbler pose, butterfly pose, bound ankle pose, and there's a Sanskrit name. But you're going to go ahead and settle into this pose. You don't want to push down on your knees. You just want to rest your forearms on your knees with your palms towards the sky, just letting gravity create the space. If it's uncomfortable or you feel like it's pulling at your legs too much, you can always slide your feet forward, or if you have a yoga block, you can actually sit on the block, and that will tilt your pelvis forward and open you up a little bit. Well, we're just going to settle into this pose. As you breathe in, go ahead and raise that left hand. Exhale, reach it forward for the right instep. We're going to breathe that right hand forward. Exhale, take it behind your back, placing it on the earth and peeking over that shoulder. Gently waking up the spine. Exhale, coming back to center. Inhale, raise that right hand. Exhale it towards the left instep. We're going to breathe that left hand forward. Exhale, take it behind your back, peeking over your shoulder. And if you're not peeking over your back, you might catch a glimpse of Grayson the cat making his debut on the mat. Exhale, breathing back to center. Take a deep breath in through your nose, lengthening through the spine. As we exhale, we're going to hinge forward from the hips, gently stretching that chin over the heels. Exhale, come back up nice and tall. Go ahead and raise that left hand again. We're going to place it on our right knee. Exhale that right arm out and take it all the way behind our back, deepening that twist. As you maybe catch a glimpse of that back wall, or in my case, it's a window. Breathe your way back to center. Deep breath in through your nose. Raise that right hand. Exhale it to the left knee. Go ahead and breathe that left knee out and go ahead and take that all the way behind your back, peeking over your shoulder. And breathing your way back to center. One more time, we're going to draw that breath up from our tailbone all the way through the crown of our head, getting nice and tall. Exhale, you're going to hinge forward. And maybe your fold's a little deeper this time. Maybe your chin's starting to hover over that arch in your foot. Exhale, come back up nice and tall. We're going to go ahead and breathe our feet forward to the top of our mat. Exhale, reaching our arms up and overhead. And with your next breath, gently fold forward, binding on your shins or toes, creating that length and stretch in the back of your legs once again. Hi, Mr. Grayson. Exhale, sit up nice and tall. We're going to go ahead and start to make our way into tabletop pose. You're going to bend your knees and gently start to stack your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, about hip width distance and shoulder width distance apart. Take a deep breath in through your nose as you drop your belly and lift your chin in cow pose. Feeling a nice stretch and release through your back. Exhale, arch your back, pulling up through that upper back, reaching it towards the ceiling. Let the crown of your head tilt towards the earth for cat pose. Breathe your way back to your heels. And exhale back to tabletop. Let's go ahead and repeat. We'll do another dynamic series. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, arch back, tilt the head. Inhale, sitting all the way back towards the heels. And exhale, coming forward. You're going to go ahead and just gently start to shift your shoulders from left to right. And then start to move your hips. This is called an undulating pose, just to continue to wake up that spine. And then settle back into tabletop. With your next breath, you're going to breathe that right leg straight back. Exhale your left hand forward, finding that balance, pulling your belly button into the spine as you reach forward. If you'd like to take a bind, you can go ahead and bend that leg and reach back for it with your opposite hand and just gently rotate that heel up over the top of your back. Starting to stretch through that left hip flexor. Exhale to release your hand and knee back to the earth. Inhale, go ahead and stretch that left foot back again. And with your next breath, you're going to sweep it over the bent leg, planting the ball on your foot on the earth and peek over that shoulder. Cross leg balasana. Start to feel that stretch in the outer edge of your hip. This is always a great pose to do if you sit a lot. If this feels good, you can go ahead and hang out here. If you want to see what it feels like to take it a little bit deeper, you're going to go ahead and point the toes on that extended leg. Exhale, slide back, resting on your arch and sitting back towards that left heel. Inhale to walk your fingertips forward. Exhale to lower your head in between your arms. And just start to melt towards the earth. If you want to play around in the pose, on an inhale, you can curl the extended leg toes under. Exhale, extend through that knee, lifting it up off the earth. You should feel a deeper stretch all the way to the glutes and that bent leg and hip. On an inhale, you're going to shift your weight forward. Exhale, sweep that leg out to the side, perpendicular to your body. Deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, go ahead and sit back towards that bent leg heel. Inhale, breathing your way forward. Exhale, stack that left knee underneath your left hip. We're going to return to dynamic series. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin. Cow pose. Exhale, arch the back, tilt the head for cat. Inhale, sitting all the way back towards your heels. And exhale, coming forward. With your next breath, you're going to step straight back with that right leg. And breathe that left arm forward. Again, finding that balance, pull the button in. If you want to take a bind, you can sweep that left arm back. Find your right toes. Exhale, take that heel up over the top of your body. Stretching through that hip flexor. Exhale to release, stretching forward once again. You're going to breathe that left hand down to the mat. And this time as you exhale, sweep the right leg over the left, plant the ball of your foot, and peek over that shoulder. Balasana on the other side. Hi, Grayson. Inhale to point that toe. Exhale, slide back on that instep and arch, sitting back towards that right heel. Inhale to walk the fingers forward. Exhale, lower your head in between your arms. Hi, buddy. With your next breath, you can curl your toes under. Exhale, extend through that knee. Deepening that stretch into the outer edge of your hip. Inhale, shift your weight forward. Exhale, sweep that leg out to the side, perpendicular to your body. Sole of foot on the earth. Go ahead and sit all the way back. Nice deep stretch. Inhale, shifting weight forward. Go ahead and stack that knee once again underneath your hip. We're going to walk our knees wide. Let your big toes touch. Go ahead and sit back towards your heels, pushing through your hands in a little wide knee child's pose. Letting that head drop between your arms. Nice and steady breath. Child's pose is always a great pose you can take if you ever need to catch your breath, or if you feel a pose that we're moving into is something you're not ready for yet. You can always slip into child's pose and take a few breaths there. You can go ahead and start to walk your hands back, walk your knees back underneath your hips. We're going to sit all the way up with our knees stacked underneath our hips. Go ahead and breathe your arms forward. Exhale. Take your hands back. You're going to curl your toes under and start to lift your head and open your heart for a little camel pose, reaching your hands back towards your heels. On an inhale, you can bind that right hand on the right heel. Exhale, reach that left arm up overhead. Go ahead and release that left arm down to the left heel. Go ahead and breathe that right arm up overhead. Go ahead and release both arms to the sides. We're going to go ahead and make our way to a standing position. I am going to make sure that you can see me. I'm going to mess with the camera a little bit, since this is a different camera than we had expected to use. So you can dance. Very good. Okay, so from the top of your mat, you're going to go ahead and breathe your arms up overhead. Exhale, folding forward, swan diving towards the earth. Let your fingertips brush against the mat. Inhale, halfway up, palms resting on shins. Exhale, rolling all the way back to Tadasana pose. Inhale, rolling shoulders back, palms towards the front of the room. You're going to go ahead and softly close your eyes and slip back into 3 deep ocean breaths. Deep breath in through your nose. Sigh it out. Deep breath in through your nose. Sigh it out. Deep breath in through your nose and sigh it out. With your next breath, go ahead and relax your arms and shoulders. Peel those eyes open and step all the way to the top of your mat. Take a deep breath in through your nose, sweeping arms up overhead, palm facing palm. Exhale, go ahead and take a seat in Utkatasana chair pose, firing up those quads, building a little heat. We're going to go ahead and breathe, prayer hands to heart center. Inhale, lift up on your heart. Exhale, that left elbow is going to sweep towards the right knee. Gaze or drishti towards the side wall. Breathing back to center. Inhale, lifting up on the chest. This time the right elbow is going to sweep towards the left knee. Gaze or drishti towards the opposite direction. Hands at heart center. Breathing back to center. Go ahead and release your hands down to the side and take them back up overhead. We're going to step straight back with our left foot. Exhale, finding ourselves in that lunge pose. Breathing forward, taking both hands down to the mat. Once you're down, exhale, lifting that bent leg side, arm up overhead. Breathing both hands back down to the mat. Exhale, step that stretched leg back. Roll all the way up. Inhale, breathing arms up overhead. Palm facing palm. Exhale, having a seat in Utkatasana once again. Firing up those quads. Hello. Exhale, step straight back with the right foot. Inhale, lifting heart. Stretching fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, folding forward, both hands touch the earth, and go ahead and stretch that left arm up overhead, twisting to the side. Breathing both hands down to the earth, stepping that back foot forward, and rolling all the way up once again. And take a few steps to walk it out. Inhale, sweeping arms up overhead, prayer hands to touch, pointer finger towards the sky. Exhale, gently roll to your left, opening up to the right side of your body. Breathing your way back to center. Exhale, gently roll to the right. Coming back to center. Swan diving all the way down to the earth. You're going to cross forearm over forearm. Go ahead and let the crown of your head drop towards the earth and gently rock from side to side. Ragdoll pose. Releasing hands to earth, coming all the way back up. And walk it out. I can hear the cat behind me somewhere. Take a deep breath in through your nose. You're going to step back with that left foot at a 45-degree angle. Exhale, bending into that front right knee. Exhale, breathing your right hand forward. We're going to go ahead and cartwheel that left arm all the way behind. Warrior or Virabhadrasana 2. Dropping shoulders away from the earlobes. Feeling the energy from the earth as we stretch our arms away from each other. Inhale, turning that palm towards the sky. Exhale, revolve your warrior. Right arm reaches overhead. Left arm slides down the back of your thigh. Gaze is skyward. Breathing back into warrior 2. We're going to turn that palm towards the earth. Inhale to bend the forearm. Exhale, take it down to the knee. Left arm reaches overhead and side angle pose. And we're going to go ahead and breathe that hand down to the earth on the inside of the bent knee. Exhale, take that top arm all the way down to the earth. Both hands are lined up on the inside of the bent knee. Exhale, turn your left toes towards the front of the mat. We're going to breathe that left knee down to the earth. Release the toes. Exhale, sit all the way back towards the heel. Folding forward. Stretching through that right leg. Inhale, shifting your weight forward. Once again, lining hands up on the inside of that bent leg foot. Elbow tucked under that bent knee. Inhale, curl your left toes under. Exhale, extend through that left knee. A little bit of a dragon. And with your next breath, you're going to walk your hands to the side. So you're facing the side length or edge of the mat. You're in a wide stance. Take a deep breath in as you take your arms up and overhead. Exhale, swan diving towards the earth. And let your hands find that side edge. Just start to melt into that stretch a little bit. Shift your hips from left to right. Exhale, drop the crown of your head parallel with the earth. Take a few breaths. With your next breath, you're going to turn your hands or your fingertips towards the back side edge of the mat, but stack those wrists underneath your shoulders. Eventually, you're going to walk those hands towards the backside edge of the mat, deepening that fold. Inhale, turn your fingertips back towards the front side edge of the mat, walking them forward till they're right on that edge. Deep breath in through your nose as you shift your weight forward, balancing on hands and toes as you lift those heels up off the mat. Exhale, releasing your heels all the way down to the mat. Hi, cat. Inhale, lift your toes, balancing through heels and toes. And breathing your feet back down to the mat. On an inhale, you're going to start to walk your hands back towards the front of the mat till they come to frame that front foot as we turn our toes towards the front of the room. Inhale to hop that left foot forward a few inches. Exhale, take that left foot up and overhead for standing splits. You can leave your hands grounded, framing that front foot, or you can walk one or both in or even bind on that standing leg. Exhale, breathing both hands down to the earth. And with your next breath, you're going to step that extended leg forward. Exhale, roll all the way up, finding that Tadasana once again. Rolling your shoulders back. Deep breath in, sigh it out. Deep breath in through your nose, sigh it out. One more deep breath in, sigh it out. With your next breath, we'll step back with that right foot at a 45-degree angle. Exhale, bending into the left knee. Go ahead and breathe that left arm forward. We're going to go ahead and cartwheel that right arm all the way behind us. If you're Virabhadrasana 2 on the other side, drop those shoulders away. Again, feeling that energy through your arms. Inhale, turning that extended palm towards the sky. Exhale, revolve your warrior. Left arm reaches overhead. Right arm slides down the back of your leg. Inhale, breathing back into that warrior 2. Exhale to turn the palm towards the earth. Inhale, bend that forearm. Exhale, take it down to the knee. Right arm reaches overhead and side angle pose. Again, you can breathe that bent arm down to the earth. Exhale, take that extended arm and send it down to the earth. Both hands are lined up on the inside of that bent leg, foot. You're going to turn the extended foot toes towards the front of the mat. Breathe that right knee down to the earth. Release those right toes. Exhale, sit back towards that right heel, folding forward and extending through the left leg. Inhale, breathing back into that front bent knee, hands flat on the earth. Exhale, turn those right toes under. Exhale, extend through that right knee. And we're going to walk our hands to the side once again to face that side edge. Deep breath in through your nose. Exhale, let the crown of your head drop parallel with the earth. And see if you can start to put a bend in your elbows, deepening that fold. If you feel a tickle behind your knees, you can always put a micro bend in your knees. Inhale to place that left hand underneath your chin. Exhale the right arm up and overhead, twisting and opening up to the heart. Breathing that right hand down to the earth below your chin. Exhale that left arm up and overhead, opening your heart. Breathing both hands all the way down to the earth, gently shifting your hips from left to right. And we're going to start to heel toe our feet together just a little bit to feel a little bit different stretch behind our legs. Almost shoulder width distance apart, just a little bit wider. And exhale, start to walk your hands towards the front of the mat, turning both feet to face the front of the mat. Inhale to hop that back leg forward only an inch or two. Exhale, take that heel up and overhead. Standing splits on the other side. And again, you can leave your hands grounded or bring one or both in to bind on that standing leg. Exhale, breathing hands down to the earth. Go ahead and step that sky foot towards the earth and roll all the way up. Finding your Tadasana once again and walk it out. We're going to get ready to go into a standing balance. The key thing with the standing balance is you want to focus your gaze or your drishti on something that's at about eye level in the distance. You don't want to just focus on me, or if you're doing tonight's class with someone else, you don't want to focus on them because we all tend to wobble a little bit. And if you watch someone who wobbles, it'll make you wobble even more. So on an inhale, we're going to go ahead and plant our left foot. Exhale, gently bend into that right knee. And with your next breath, peel that knee out to the side so it's perpendicular to that standing leg. With your next breath, go ahead and find your focal point or drishti. Ready? Go ahead and breathe that bent leg up the standing leg. And when you're ready, connect it to breath. Go ahead and take both arms up overhead, finding that balance, keeping that focus, firing up all those accessory muscles through your body to keep yourself nice and steady. Go ahead and slowly release your arms to the side. Turn that bent knee towards the front and go ahead and start to step back with that bent knee. Stretching it all the way behind you as you fold forward. Stretching your hands behind you for a little warrior three. And then step it forward and walk it out. Now if you're near a wall or a chair, you can always reach out to steady yourself. It's really important to feel safe in yoga and not do poses where you feel like your balance will be challenged to the point where you might actually fall. So that's perfectly okay, especially if this is your first class. Go ahead and settle back into your stance, your Tadasana pose. Inhale to plant that right foot. Exhale, bend into that left knee and peel that left knee out to the side. With your next breath, once again, you're going to connect with that focal point. If the last one didn't work for you, maybe look for a different spot on the wall or picture that's hanging up. Go ahead and settle those shoulders. And on an inhale, breathe that bent leg up the standing leg. And again, connect to the breath. When you're ready, take those arms or tree limbs up overhead, finding your tree, firing up those accessory muscles, and finding your stillness. Exhale, releasing your arms to the side. We're going to take that bent knee and point it towards the front of the room. Start to step that leg back as we bend forward, stretching our fingertips towards the back, finding that balance on one leg in warrior three. Go ahead and step that extended leg forward and walk it out. Now I'm going to take a second to adjust the camera because we're going back down to the ground. Okay. So you're going to take a deep breath in through your nose as you take your arms up overhead. Exhale. Go ahead and go all the way down to the earth, letting those hands find your mat, walking them forward till you're in downward dog. Go ahead and stretch those heels towards the mat, finding that length once again through the back of your legs. Inhale, you're going to go ahead and take that left leg, stretching it up overhead. Inhale, put a bend in that left knee. Exhale, breathe it forward. It's going to stack up towards your hands between your arms. We're settling into what's called pigeon pose. If you have any back problems, I'll show you how to do the alternate pose in just a second to protect your back. Same stretch, just a different way. And release the toes on that extended leg. And when you're ready, putting a nice 90-degree bend in this front ankle to protect your knee, you're going to slowly start to fold forward. Now, if this is your first time doing pigeon, don't try to do what I'm doing or somebody else is doing. It's really what feels right for you. But you're going to start to melt towards the earth. This is a yin pose, so you want to try to stay settled in this pose for 2 to 3 minutes. Activating connective tissue and just relaxing. So those of you doing traditional pigeon at home or settling into the pose, I'm going to show you the alternate pose for people with back issues. What you're going to do is you're going to lay or recline on your back. Go ahead and put a bend in both knees so your feet are flat on the earth. And since we were working on the left leg on that side, this way it'll be the right, but you're going to take that right ankle, cross the left knee, and go ahead and peel that knee out so it's perpendicular to your body. Or if you look at your legs at the top, it almost looks like the top of a number 4. And you can stay like this, or you can increase the stretch. You can walk your toe closer to your body, or you can even extend that leg. You just want to make sure the ankle doesn't push against that extended knee. So that's the same hip opening pose, but you're just in a reclined position to protect your back. Pigeon is one of my favorite poses. I think I could take a nap in it. So really take the time in pigeon to clear your thoughts, refocus on your intention, get a hug from a kitty cat, and just settle in. Hi, Grayson. You have about 1 more minute in pigeon. You're going to go ahead and start to find that awareness again, placing your hands flat on the mat. Exhale, extending through elbows, getting nice and tall through that spine. On an inhale, you're going to walk the heel of your hands closer to your body, getting even taller. If you'd like, you can bend that extended leg and reach back and take a bind. Stretching up. You can even reach forward. Go ahead and breathe your hands down. Release that bend in your leg. You're going to walk your weight back onto that front leg hip. Exhale, take your legs back towards the top of your mat. And we're going to go ahead and slide our legs apart again, finding that V that we found at the beginning of the class. Inhale, placing the heels of our hands directly in front of our thighs. Exhale, leaning forward and stretching through the spine. Go ahead and breathe that left hand to your shin. Exhale the right hand up over the top of your ear, side folding. See if it's a little deeper. Breathing your way up nice and tall. We're going to go ahead and take the right hand, placing it on the right shin. Exhale that left arm up over the top of our ear. Breathing yourself up nice and tall. We're going to go ahead and bring our heels together on the mat. Go ahead and walk your heels all the way to the top of your mat. On an inhale, you're going to put a bend in both knees, placing your heels on the earth. Turn the palms toward the sky, and you're going to hinge back onto your tailbone, firing up a little boat pose, pulling that belly button in. Nice and steady breaths. Once again, activate that core. In through your nose, out through your nose. In through your nose. Go ahead and come forward, folding legs, sitting up nice and tall, stretching through that spine. And we're going to go ahead and go back into tabletop. Stacking hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale to curl your toes under. Exhale, breathe those knees up off the mat, finding your dog once again. Inhale, reaching the right heel towards the sky. That right knee, breathe it forward. Release the toes on that left foot. And once again, you're just going to start to melt towards your mat. And for those of you with back problems, to demonstrate for the other side, you're just going to go ahead and recline on your back. Go ahead and put a bend in your knee, letting those feet set up on the earth. Relaxing arms on either side of your hips, flat on the earth. Inhale to bend that right knee, or left knee, left ankle over the right knee. Let that knee drift out to the side. And again, you can stay like this. You can walk that standing foot closer to your backside, or you can even extend it, taking it up overhead to activate that stretch. Settle into the pose. You want to slowly start to find that awareness. Inhale, placing palms flat on the earth. Exhale, extending through elbows, lengthening through the spine. On an inhale, we're going to walk the heel of our hands back closer to our body, getting nice and tall. Go ahead and put a bend in that left knee. Exhale your left hand behind you and see if you can't bind on that heel and find that balance, reaching that hand up and overhead. Releasing hands down to the earth. We're going to go ahead and walk our weight back onto that bent leg hip. Exhale, stretch your feet all the way towards the top of your mat. And if your heels are a little shy of the mat, go ahead and walk them forward, one hip at a time. And settling into staff pose, ankles at 90 degrees, hands pushing against the earth, lengthening through that spine, getting nice and tall, and settling into that Ujjayi breath, nice and even. In through your nose, out through your nose. On an inhale, we're going to bend both knees, sole foot to sole foot, coming back to that butterfly or cobbler pose. And this time, as you exhale, you're going to slowly recline all the way back. Just settling in. Letting gravity do the work to find that space in your hips. Arms resting on the earth at either side of your body. And again, if you feel discomfort, you can always slide your feet away from your body to decrease that stretch. Or if you're not quite ready for it, you can go ahead and lift up on your knees a little bit. But just start to breathe into the release. Sometimes people even place blocks underneath their thighs just for that little extra support. Inhale, you're going to go ahead and breathe, knees together, feet flat on the mat. And you're going to slide your heels closer to your bum, palms flat on the earth. In through your nose, exhale, push through those feet, lifting those hips up off the earth for a little bridge pose. Nice and steady. Firing up those back muscles, those leg muscles. Let's go ahead and breathe our hips back down to the earth. On an inhale, you're going to heel toe your feet to the outside edge of the mat. Hands resting on either side of your body. Deep breath in through your nose. Exhale, let both knees drift to the right. Inhale, go ahead and breathe your knees back over the mat. You're going to keep the feet at the edges. Exhale, shift the knees in the opposite direction. Stretching through that left hip flexor, arms just resting on the earth. Inhale, taking knees back over the mat. Exhale to heel toe those feet back in alignment with your hips. And with your next breath, you're going to take that left ankle and cross it over your right knee. Go ahead and peel that left knee out towards the side wall. Inhale to heel toe that standing foot to the outside edge of the mat. Go ahead and breathe your arms up to a T or a goalpost. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, let drift to the left, so you're just balancing on the inside edge of your right foot, letting the weight of the left calf over that right knee just add a little bit more to that hip flexor stretch. Just melt into the pose. On an inhale, you're going to breathe your knees back over the mat. Exhale to heel toe that right foot in and uncross the left leg. Keeping your arms at a goalpost or a T, you're going to take the other leg, the right leg, and cross that ankle over the left knee and let the right knee peel out to the side. Inhale to heel toe that left foot to the outside edge of the mat, and as you exhale, both knees drift to the right. You're balancing on the inside edge of the left foot. Just breathing into that nice deep stretch, activating that hip flexor, giving it a nice long stretch. Breathing knees back over the mat. You're going to heel toe that left foot in, uncross that right leg. Your feet are standing on the earth. Your knees are nice and bent. You're going to go ahead and breathe those legs nice and long. Once you extend your legs, you're going to turn your palms towards the sky. Take a deep breath in through your nose as you peel the back of your head and shoulders off the earth, followed by your heels and calves. Fire up a little canoe pose. Once again, activating that core. Nice, steady breaths. In through your nose, out through your nose, in through your nose, out through your nose. One more deep breath in. Exhale, relax on the earth. We're going to go ahead and breathe our arms directly overhead, stretching fingers towards the sky. Exhale, take that left arm, cross it over your chest, and gently cup that left elbow with your right hand and give it a nice little hug, stretching through that shoulder girdle. Back towards the sky, you're going to take that right arm and cross it over the chest, cupping that left hand behind the elbow and gently hugging it in. Inhale, breathing fingertips up towards the sky, lifting those shoulder blades off the earth. You're going to lower the shoulder blades back onto the mat and release your hands to either side of your body. It's time for Shavasana. Go ahead and take a few breaths to do any last minute poses. You're going to gently start to close your eyes and settle into that nice, even Ujjayi breath. Clearing your mind, focusing on that intention, and staying very present on your mat. Let your body start to melt into the earth. Recognize the weight of your body against the earth in each area where your body touches the earth. Nice and steady breaths in through your nose, out through your nose, in through your nose. Your next breath, you're slowly going to start by wiggling your toes, maybe flexing and extending through the ankles. Inhale to gently start to circle through your ankles clockwise and counterclockwise. Inhale to bend both knees, standing your feet on the earth once again. And you're going to let those knees gently drift from left to right. And if you'd like, you can even hug your knees in towards your chest, wrapping your hands around your knees, continuing that side-to-side motion to give the small of your back a little bit of a massage against the earth. Exhale, releasing feet back to the earth. Knees still bent. You're going to let that movement travel upwards. Wiggling your fingers. Inhale, drawing fingertips in towards the palm of your hands. Exhale, extending your fingers, stretching them far apart. And we're going to start to flex and hyperextend through the wrist. And then circle through the wrist clockwise. And counterclockwise. Let that movement continue to the elbow, flexing and extending through your elbows, alternating with each arm. Let that movement continue upward as we still the elbows. Inhale, shrugging shoulders up towards ears. Exhale, dropping them away. Inhale, shrugging upwards. Exhale, dropping away. And let that movement travel to your mouth, where you start to tighten the muscles on your mouth and eyes. Exhale, completely release all the muscles in your face, being conscious of the skin as it drifts past the bridge of your nose, over your cheeks and towards your ears. Letting the corners of your eyes and mouth just gently drift down. And now with your knees still bent, you're going to gently roll onto your right or left side, taking a few breaths in seat pose. Recognizing your connection to earth, honoring your time on your mat, and eventually you're going to make your way back up to easy pose with your legs crossed, arms resting on your knees, palms towards the sky, soft close on the eyes, settling back into that Ujjayi breath. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Sigh it out through an open mouth. Deep breath in through your nose. Sigh it out. One more deep breath in through your nose and sigh it out. With your eyes still closed, you're going to gently bring your palms to touch the heart center. May your hearts be filled with love, light, and happiness and appreciation at this unusual time for our country and the world. Inhale, taking prayer hands. May your words be filled with kindness, encouragement, and efforts to lift each other up and make a positive difference. With your next breath, take your hands to that space between your eyes. May your thoughts be filled with empathy, compassion, and forgiveness for others and for yourself. Thank you for joining me in this practice. Namaste. Brenda will be back tomorrow on the Let's Get Physical page with a live class. I believe it's at 4:15. I will be back Sunday morning at 9. I think Tyann Filson has a free class at 7 tomorrow night on love, strength, and fitness. But our whole idea is to keep everybody healthy and happy in their own homes. If there's anything special you want, I think Brenda recorded a chair yoga class this week. If anybody needs any modifications, please reach out to us. We're happy to record something to show you how you can do yoga in your own home that's safe for you. And if you have any suggestions, I will get this technology issue worked out so we can go back to enjoying the great local music that we get to hear during class. Have a wonderful evening. Take care of yourselves. Namaste.